The next step, and probably one of the most important ones, is hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jess, and today we're going to talk about what it means to actually become the healthiest version of yourself. Over the past few years, I've learned that having a healthy routine is not having a perfect routine. Instead, having a healthy lifestyle, it should be balanced because it's a lifelong journey. So that means embracing the small, meaningful choices you do every day and letting go the idea that you have to be perfect. I learned that the hard way. If you don't know where to start, if you don't know how to become the healthiest version of yourself, I'm going to give you 9 tips of exactly how you can get there, and you can start that today and start feeling results a week from now. If you don't know me, my name is Jess, and I have been dealing with chronic IBS and gut health issues for the past 4 years. And 2 years ago, I decided to work with a naturopathic doctor to get to the root problem of my gut health issues once and for all. And I have been breaking down everything I've been learning from her to share with you guys, because I know it's not always easy to know how to start your gut health journey. Over the past 2 years, I have learned a lot about what it means to strive and become the healthiest version of yourself. I know how it feels to be completely overwhelmed and unmotivated to start your healing journey. There is so much noise out there of what we should be doing. What does it actually mean to be healthy? I got to that point myself whenever I started my gut health journey back in 2020. I tried to do it on my own, figuring out, is it gluten that's hurting my stomach? Well, this supplement I heard on TikTok actually reduced my bloating. Maybe I should start waking up at 5 a.m. Like, I literally tried it all. Even for the past 2 years, I was getting to a point where I was second guessing the diet I was on, the supplements I was taking, and the routine I built for myself. I always was in the cycle of, am I doing enough to heal my gut? Am I doing enough to try to feel like a normal and healthy human being who doesn't wake up feeling bloated and inflamed? Eventually, that sense of confusion, it won over my life for a little bit, and in my last video I talked about why I stopped my health journey. During that time especially, I was able to reconnect on why I was doing this in the first place, and it really was to feel like the healthiest version of myself. I wanted to feel at home in my body again. I knew that feeling of what it felt like to not wake up and feel inflamed, to not be chronically bloated, to have clear skin again, to not be nauseous after I eat. I knew what that felt like, and I've gotten to a point where I almost feel like I've backpedaled and am experiencing all of those symptoms again. And let me tell you, it is not normal. It's not normal to not go to the bathroom for multiple days. It's not normal to feel nauseous after something you eat, to feel so bloated you can't even fit into the jeans that you're wearing. I knew that I just wanted to be in tune with my physical self again. To be the healthiest version of myself, to me, that feels very balanced. It doesn't feel restrictive, and it feels very true to who I am and how I want to live my life. And so today I'm going to break down 9 steps of how you can feel that exact way too, at home in your body again, and not experiencing these chronic issues once and for all. Understand that by committing to this journey today, you're putting yourself in a better place down the road. So, how do we start? It really does start with what you're putting in your body. If you have been struggling with chronic gut health issues, hormonal imbalances, you've been having brain fog, fatigue, etc., a lot of it can stem from the diet we have and the lifestyle choices that we make. So I always love to start with what we're putting in our body. When you learn about gut health, you learn that 90% of our body's serotonin, that's the happy, feel-good chemicals, they originate from the gut. And so if our gut is imbalanced, it's going to throw off our entire mental and physical well-being. So if you don't think that your diet can impact your state of being, you got to start thinking again. You may need to start from the beginning and understand the most basic tips for nutrition that you can find. Or if you're already past that stage and you know what a balanced diet looks like, you may need to do the elimination diet to find your trigger foods, so you know exactly what's triggering your flare-up. I did this almost 2 years ago, and I found that gluten, dairy, soy, and corn were really flaring up my symptoms, so I was able to remove that for a better part of the year. And over time, I was able to slowly reincorporate those foods back into my life. Start with what you're putting in your body, and you know that your future self will thank you again. The second step for becoming the healthier version of yourself is to move your body in a way that feels empowering and energizing and not drainful. Most of the times, whenever we have chronic gut health issues, we're already super inflamed and our adrenals adrenals are working overtime. So we don't want to do anything that's going to make that worse. I gave up high intense workouts, super heavy weightlifting. Instead, I started cycle syncing my workouts with my menstrual cycle. And I also started to do more low impact movement. So again, I wasn't pushing my body to its boundaries and causing more stress and inflammation whenever I already had an abundance of it. Don't think that it means you need to hit the gym 6 times a week. It starts with just daily movement. Going for a walk after you eat so it reduces your blood sugar spike. Going for a walk in the morning so you set your circadian rhythm for the day. Or as I mentioned, doing more low intensity workouts like yoga that focuses on breath work and relaxation, or even Pilates too. It will improve your blood circulation, your sleep, your digestive system, everything if you start moving in a way that energizes you and doesn't drain you. And that's how you'll be one step closer to the healthiest version of yourself. Third step is going to be start regulating your nervous system. So what exactly does that mean? Stress is one of the root causes of my IBS and maybe one of the root causes of yours too. You're in this chronic fight or flight state, your digestive system is not going to work properly. I really had to start paying attention to how I was feeling in certain moments to start regulating that fight or flight system. Once I was able to find these triggers for my stress, how that manifested in my physical body, like how that led to nausea and more bloating, I was able to become better equipped in managing those triggers. For example, one thing I notice I do a lot is I always keep my shoulders raised and tense. Like even when I'm eating, I can just have this tense sensation in my body. Becoming more aware of that, noticing it throughout the day where I actively have to think about dropping my shoulders, taking a deep breath, it really helped to calm my body down and I was able to regulate my nervous system in a better way. This can also look like slowing down your meal times, being more present during your meals, chewing your food all the way through, or even if you have a morning or a night ritual that helps you to wind down or wake up. This can all be ways to better regulate your nervous system. Whenever we turn our attention towards that, our digestive system is going to work better and we'll also have better cognitive function. The fourth thing that's essential to becoming the healthiest version of yourself is discovering your non-negotiables on your health journey. As I mentioned, healing is not going to be perfect 100% of the time. If it was, I don't think anybody would do it. Finding your non-negotiables will help you to be disciplined and actually stick to a routine. For myself, whenever I started this healing journey, it meant focusing on one thing at a time. I didn't go about trying to change my diet and my lifestyle and the supplements I was taking all at once, but I did it in slow increments. It could be extremely overwhelming to try to do all of these tips at one time, so I recommend focusing on one thing. Maybe you start with your diet and you do the elimination diet. After that, maybe you start looking at your sleep schedule and trying to improve that every day. Then after that, maybe you can introduce that one supplement that could be beneficial. But if you try to do everything at once, it's going to be super overwhelming and probably lead you to give up quicker. So find your non-negotiables, find 1 or 2 things that you can actually stick to doing every day and start there, and you can build a healthier routine from that. And that way you don't feel like you're fully compromising your lifestyle either. You still feel like yourself, you're just moving on to be a healthier version of you. And you also won't waste your energy towards these new routines. Your energy will be used to actually heal your body. And if you begin to prioritize this, those small wins will start to build up momentum for you. The 5th step to becoming the healthier version of yourself is don't let one bad day completely throw you off course. There will absolutely never be a right time to start your healing journey. And when you do start, it won't be perfect because life gets in the way. Whatever is happening right now, don't let one bad day completely throw you off course. It's okay to find balance. It's okay to say, hey, maybe it's my best friend's birthday this week and I'm gonna go out and stay late one night at the bar celebrating her. Maybe you have a trip coming up and you're going to Italy and you wanna eat pasta even though you know gluten is a trigger food. Like, stuff like that happens. Just don't let those disruptions become your new norm. Because whenever you start allowing for all of these one-off things to occur, you're not remaining consistent or discipline in your routine. Don't let that singular break in routine become the routine. And don't let that be an excuse for you to give up. Instead, that's why I love sticking to my non-negotiables whenever I travel or whenever it is a holiday season coming up, because it makes it that much easier to stay the course and not let one bad day completely throw you off. The next step, and probably one of the most important ones, is surrounding yourself with people who can support you. Surrounding yourself with a community that is going to help support your goals is the best way to become the healthiest version of yourself. Really not easy to feel like you're alone in your healing journey. If you're trying to do this on your own and your friends don't know about it, your family doesn't know about it, or if they know about it and they don't understand, it's going to be so much easier to give up. It's already kind of hard whenever you go to a restaurant and you have these foods you're trying to avoid, or your friends are wanting to go out, but maybe you're not drinking at the time because you gave up alcohol. If you don't have the right support system in place, everything else will fall apart. So if your support system doesn't understand why you want to change or why you need to change your diet and lifestyle in order to heal, then you're going to be super tempted to break the boundaries that you've set up for yourself and everything you worked up until this moment. Instead, we need to find ways to surround ourselves with people who can empathize with us and even motivate us whenever we want to give up or we're having a bad day. It's going to make it so much easier to stick to your goals. And if you don't know where to find that community, this channel is a great place to start, because I know what it feels like to be doing the things you need to do in order to become the healthiest version of yourself. The next step to become the healthiest version of yourself is educating yourself. Knowledge is going to be a tool that we're able to use and also be able to help us decipher the shitty advice from the good advice. I love learning from different articles, blog posts, podcasts are like my number one go-to. And you can take in so much information that's going to equip you on your health journey, such as this channel, for instance. I hope this is helpful. I understand there could be a lot of misinformation whenever it comes to health. Again, that's a reason why I've started my own blog post and this channel, to help kind of guide you through the BS of IBS. But whenever you are more well-informed, you're better equipped to kind of shift through the BS advice and focus on things that are actually going to matter and make an impact for your health. It's going to give you the power to decipher information whenever it does seem super overwhelming. And not only will it help you power through your healing journey, but it's going to open up new perspectives for you too, which for me has been one of the best things about going on this journey. I have been exposed to so many alternative ways to healing that I was never privy to before. So educating on yourself in this is going to really open you up to new perspective, and I think it gives you better leverage whenever you are speaking with doctors, including gastroenterologists or even different functional medicine practitioners too. One of the key things within functional medicine is that they are students just as much as they are teachers. So you are learning and growing together, which I think is really beautiful. The 8th tip on how to become the healthiest version of yourself is remembering that you cannot heal your body overnight. This is super important because it's going to empower you to expand your time horizon. Understanding that you're not going to see differences tomorrow when you wake up, a week from now. It's going to help you to stick the course. For myself, I didn't wake up with all of these gut health issues overnight. Even though it kind of felt that way, it was years of taking antibiotics and abusing them, years of taking birth control and drinking alcohol, and all of those things that ultimately accumulated to me developing IBS. Because that took so long to develop, healing your body is also not going to happen overnight. But you can begin to improve your symptoms whenever you take the time today to start building a routine and sticking to it. So expand your time horizon. Your future self will thank you. And the very last tip for becoming the healthiest version of yourself is learning to love the body that you're in today. You cannot begin your healing journey with the idea of like, I'll love myself better whenever I lose this weight, or whenever I'm not bloated, or whenever my skin clears up. That kind of conditional self-love you put yourself in is going to, one, not motivate you, but then it's also going to postpone what you're deserving of right now. We know that we have to expand our time horizon, and it's going to take time to heal our bodies. Plus, healthy living isn't a destination, it's the journey that we're on. If you wait to love yourself and love the body that you're in, you're going to risk months or even years of having that connection with yourself. And being connected to your physical, your emotional, your spiritual self is part of the healing journey. You gotta learn to be in tune with your body, or else you're never going to get past your symptoms. We need to begin this practice of self-love and appreciation for what we're doing in our bodies and what our bodies are capable of right now in the start of our healing journeys. That way you'll have more empathy for yourself if you do fall off, and you'll be able to build out greater connection with others in the same space as you. That's pretty much it. That is how you can start becoming the healthiest version of yourself today, setting you up for a healthier tomorrow. If you want more content like this, especially advice as I'm working with a new naturopathic doctor here in Charlotte, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow this channel. And I also post on my blog, Healthier Days Ahead, and my new newsletter From the Gut. I don't say weekly, but whenever I get around to it. You can also follow me on social media. I'm Jessica DeVue on all of the channels, and I'll see you next time.